There is this saying that what got you here will not get you there. So what got you started was probably rapid action, quick iteration, and just going after it. For most merchants, in the beginning of their journey, this means just getting the store up and running ads, and just going fast. This will get you your initial success, and it can feel very rewarding. You will teach your brain that this is what you should do. So oftentimes merchants just try to get to the next level by doing more of that. So if in the beginning it was optimizing ads and the ads optimization worked initially, then the answer logically should be that it should be just more like ad optimization. However, what got you here will not get you there. And what makes this game very difficult to crack sometimes is the rewards will not be completely aligned with the steps. And they will often change midway. So sometimes you will get rewards quicker. So for example, optimizing the ad sets might bring you small initial tangible rewards, but optimizing the customer journey or the post-purchase thing, getting repeat buyers, will not immediately move the needle. It will move the needle in months or even years, but it will not immediately move the needle. So it is something that our human brain is very challenged to deal with. And that's why many merchants do get stuck on these initial stages. It's just very rewarding to keep working on those things that you are already familiar with. And usually this is a little bit of a life cycle of the e-commerce store. Many e-commerce stores never make it beyond the winter. Few make it to the spring where they get their initial growth, but then very quickly many of them go back to winter. They never get to experience the summer where you're really making progress, the autumn when you are taking the harvest in and enjoying your success. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. If you don't know me yet, I'm Samuel Larsen, founder of CROgurus.com, where we help mostly 7-figure e-commerce stores get the most out of their existing traffic. It's an unfortunate fact that most Shopify stores really die in their infancy. They're just babies when they vanish. And most stores die because they cannot sustainably buy more traffic or acquire it. That's just too expensive for them to get customers. And also when we combine this principle with the way that the capitalism works, it is difficult to build a sustainable competitive advantage because there's always somebody trying to come and compete for your market share, bringing margins down, etc. So competition tends to eliminate the stores that are not good enough, and the forces are against you in this game. So what this means is that you can often get to some result stage with just optimizing traffic. However, you will never get to this consistent cash flow stage where you have your traffic working, you have your customer retention working, you have a solid model for making money out of those customers, where you have a good share of the market. You may not be growing it anymore, but you have a working model. So with that in mind, the question then becomes, how do we enable ourselves to buy more traffic in an affordable way? So in our experience, it comes down to better visitor monetization. And then, of course, the question is, how do we do that? Usually, merchants try to get it and solve it better and more traffic. So this tends to be usually exhausted as an option. So it's just there's less low-hanging fruits, less opportunity in this bucket. The second most obvious thing is getting the traffic to convert better. Usually, there's quite a bit of opportunities here, since if 100% of the focus has been on better traffic, maybe there has been like slight trickles in the conversions. And most times merchants do actually think that they have maximized this already because they've done some best practices. They may not think that the storefront is that important because previously the traffic has converted to a degree, so it's probably not the storefront. But what they fail to realize is that this was just the most motivated sort of top of the top traffic, the yes customers that they were able to get, but there's only a very limited amount of yes customers. So now when they are going to the maybe customers, the storefront is failing. So that's the second thing that we usually tackle. and what I recommend tackling, because of course, once you have a lot of traffic to your site, then you'd have to get those conversions up before you can really worry about the other things. The third thing that we then tackle, and this is partly tackled as the third item because it is also happening partly post-purchase. So you do need to have people on the post-purchase funnel in order for this to fully work. So that is improving the average order value. This is often missed by many people, as those two things tend to be the focus points of the merchants. So just improving traffic, improving conversions, and then they forget the average order value. So we made this many sales, and they don't really look at the revenue, and they very unlikely won't be looking at the profit and really calculating that out. And the fourth, the least sexy out of the bunch, is the customer lifetime optimization. Often this is completely ignored. It's also one of the most difficult ones. So you do need to produce happy customers, and you need to have back-end offers for these customers. So you can think of this customer lifetime value as the monetary worth of a customer to your business for the length of their engagement with your company. So if you can improve the length of engagement, you usually will have more sales there. Or if you can just improve the offers along the way, you'd often have more sales there. So it is one of these where you're constantly looking to positively ping the customers so that they have good feelings for your store and your offering. Often it's a little bit of a hybrid role, which makes it difficult as well. On the one hand, you need to be a marketer and getting them to buy more. And for that, it's one where, okay, you're wearing this hat, but at the same time, you need to be the entrepreneur and think like, what do they actually want? And then trying to match that with that situation. But here, the one sentence that I found to be very useful when thinking about this is this old adage that for you to achieve your goals as the merchant, the customer must first achieve theirs. So how can you help these customers on their journey to realize even more value out of your offering, out of your product, out of this journey that they are on? And then if you can drop the offers in that journey, you'll do quite well, generally speaking at least. Now, this is not at all a simple topic. So here are some questions to get started. So first of all, ask just generally like, how happy are my customers? You can actually get a little bit of insights to this as well. If you have reviews, if you have other reviews somewhere else, so Trustpilot or product reviews online. So those are usually ones that you get a little bit of a gauge there. If you have happy customers, there's no reason why you couldn't get them to buy again if you just hit them with the right offer. Second, and this is a little bit of a different question. It appears to be the same, but it's not. How good was the experience? So there's an experience to buying beyond just them being happy or satisfied. And those experiences can be memorable. If you, for example, have ever bought an Apple product, they probably put a lot of focus on how the packaging is and how it is when you take it out of the box, how that feeling is. So that then people would want to repeat that thing as often as possible. So they're more likely to buy the next one just because of that. So the buyer has direct evidence of how good the experience was, and they are likely to trust their own judgment. Okay, question number 3. If I were them, would I buy from myself again? So is there something that would trigger them to buy again? Is this just a dead end store? So you just buy this one product, you have no recurring revenue opportunities? Or is it something that you can actually build almost like a journey on? And that relates to the next question. So if they buy one product, do I have other products that would fit the offer or the journey? So in this case, are there some logical next steps here? Or is my business more of a one and done thing? And if it's a one and done thing, I think one of your biggest leverage points would be to simply get it from one and done thing to the point where you will have multiple offers along the way. Next question. Do I have customer touchpoints to stay on top of mind post-purchase? So have you even built your post-purchase email flows? Have you thought about what goes into this journey? Do you have even perhaps post-purchase ads trying to get them to do more on your store because they've already purchased? So is this the end of the journey, or do you have those touch points to help it out? Lastly, do they understand what they should buy next? And if they do I offer it to them? So if they don't know what they should buy next, they might need some education. So that's when they are not as problem aware. But if they are, do you offer these solutions to them? Or are you basically just stepping out of the line now and just you go and find it somewhere else? Now you're on your own. So if you can ask these questions, think of the path beyond the first purchase. You're going to do way better in your customer lifetime value maximization efforts. Thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure to like it if you like it. If you'd like some help with your store and you are already getting some traction, some success with your store, go to zerogurus.com/apply and let's take a look. Cheers and see you on the next one.